My name is James Waddell. I'm a chaplain with Partners in Home Care Hospice. Welcome, friends and family, to the 34th annual gathering to light the Tree of Life together. We gather together this year aware of the darkness around us. The darkness for us becomes metaphor and representation of the loss and grief that has brought us together tonight. We are here, each of us, precisely because we have known times of darkness that come from losing someone we love. We know that darkness represents for us something of the loss and the grief. In the world's traditions and imagery, darkness speaks to two realities. Both these realities we experience in loss. Darkness speaks on the one hand of absence, and darkness also speaks of presence. The darkness reminds us of light that we can no longer see. Indeed, it takes our eyes quite a bit of time to adjust to darkness. And darkness limits what we are able to see, reducing our sight to shapes and shadows, unable to discern what may be in front of us, no longer able to see the full picture. And yet darkness also reminds us of presence. We find rest in the dark as we sleep. We find that we are becoming more aware of other senses in the dark, senses like sound and smell and touch. And we begin to become conscious that we are not alone even in the darkness. That in some mysterious way, darkness allows us to move closer to others. The dark represents absence and presence, and so the dark is thus a mystery to us. Gregory Boyle writes, "We prepare for the darkness of loss, and the soul finds a way to touch it, and the hidden gets released, and you are seasoned by it." Darkness truly does season our lives. Darkness defines our beginnings and our endings. And yet, if we pay attention, we note that it's a darkness defined by love. In the darkness of our mother's wombs, we were held in love before our birth. And in the darkness of death, we hold our loved ones after they are gone from our sight. All throughout life, we look for others who can hold us and whom we can hold through times of darkness. And it is precisely this love that brings us together at this gathering tonight. And so here we are together, gathered in darkness. Together, we find ourselves aware of absence, of those whose faces we no longer see. And together we hold to a presence of love that will never leave us. Just as a little light shines and disperses all the darkness around it, we will now light the Tree of Life together. This tree, now that it is lit, reminds us not only of the ones we have lost, but of the love that endures. Meister Eckhart says, "Truly, it is in darkness that one finds the light. So when we are in sorrow, then this light is nearest of all to us." And so now let this tree that we have lit be a sign of love for us all. May the light become a reminder that no matter the darkness we are facing, we have reason for hope. And let this light shine into each of our hearts to become for us a warm, loving embrace from our loved ones. We stand before the Tree of Life, holding darkness and light together as we hold grief and love together. And now I'd like to invite you to join us for the service at the church.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Rowan. I'm one of the chaplains with Partners in Home Care Hospice. We welcome you to the 2021 Tree of Life ceremony. We gather to remember the ones we love, who are no longer with us, to honor their lives and the gifts they offered, and the presence that they generated in our lives. We gather to mourn and to celebrate, to appreciate who our loved ones were, and to share the strength with each other as we go forward, to feel their absence and to affirm for each other who we've become and are becoming through our relationship with the ones we have lost. Earlier, we gathered outside in the dark to light the tree of life. Now we are gathered inside, in full light, to complete the ceremony of remembrance and continuing connection. We gather in balance, the balance of our outside lives with our inner selves, the balance of loss and persistence, of sorrow and of joy, of what we see and what is unseen, of what we hold and what we share, of what we know and what we trust despite so much unknown. We gather in this space at this time together in the presence of magic and loss. Always magic and loss go together. Alice Walker observed, "In nature, nothing is perfect. and yet everything is perfect. Trees can be contorted, bent in weird ways, and they're still beautiful. Ms. Walker knows much about trees, and she knows much about love and grief. We call this annual tradition the Tree of Life to celebrate because we know that trees, especially a tall, majestic evergreen, remind us of endurance, of life, and of hope. From our roots, our history, to our branches and foliage, our present, and to the sky, our aspirations. Trees share with us our experiences and our journey. One tree may appear alone, but is always part of its environment, its community. No matter how we experience grief and how it may cause us to feel contorted, bent, and weird, we remain beautiful and we remain connected by our love for each other and for those we have lost. Those who provided names will find them scrolling on screen as part of this presentation tonight. There will be a time in the service for a lighting of candles. You might wish to have a candle in your home ready to light at the time in the memorial for your loved one. And now I invite Katrina Makaya, our bereavement coordinator, to lead us in a responsive reading.
Please join me in the responsive reading. I'll read the first part, and you can follow with the part that's in all capitals. We are here tonight to honor those we have lost and to find light for our darkness.
With lights on our tree now illuminating the dark night, we remember them.
Not because they died, but because they lived.
With lights on our tree now illuminating the dark night, we remember them.
Not only to mourn a death, but to celebrate a life.
With candles illuminating the sacred space, we remember them.
Not only to endure the monochromatic cold of winter, but to anticipate the color-filled warmth of spring and the new life it will bring.
With candles illuminating this sacred space, we remember them.
May the lights we light on this night proclaim to our community that people we love have lived, have died, but will never be forgotten.
With the lights on our tree and with the flames of love we share, we remember them.
May the lights we light tonight represent hope. We will light one another's candles as we share in the quiet of the moment, remembering those we love and welcoming the light.
Oh
We close our time together with a poem by Gabriel Mistral, I Am Not Alone. And this is translated by Mary Galway. The night, it is deserted, from the mountains to the sea. But I, the one who rocks you, I am not alone. The sky, it is deserted, for the moon falls to the sea. But I, the one who holds you, I am not alone. The world, it is deserted. All flesh is sad, you see. But I, the one who hugs you, I am not alone. And truly, none of us are alone. You are invited to visit the Tree of Life in Rose Memorial Park at any time. It will remain lit every night until the first of the year. This video is available at any time on the Partners in Home Care website. If you have concerns or wish to talk with someone from our hospice team about bereavement, please feel free to call. We hope to gather in person once again in 2022, and may we all go in peace.